नुकीली चीज़ और रोडें डाली गई जिससे कि उसके लीवर की नालियां भी फट गई।
किसी भी घटना के होने के बाद पुलिस एक्शन में आकर के कितना जल्दी उसको सॉल्व करती है, यही एक प्रकार की पुलिस की कार्य प्रणाली का हिस्सा है।
Four rapes in 3 days in Haryana have sent shockwaves across the nation. In Faridabad, a 23-year-old woman was abducted and gang-raped in a moving vehicle for over 2 hours before being dumped on the road. In Jind, the minor was gang-raped and her mutilated body was found in a canal. The medical examination showed that she suffered Nirbhaya-like brutalities. In Panipat, a class 7 student was killed and gang-raped. The police have arrested 2 accused on charges of rape and murder. In Pinjore, an 11-year-old girl was raped by a 48-year-old man. The accused was later arrested. All the 4 cases have been equally dastardly and disturbing. Over the next 30 minutes, we focus on the rise of crimes against women, especially in states like Haryana. Why has Haryana become the epicenter of violence against women? Why is the state failing to protect women? Joining us to discuss this further, Swati Maliwal, Chief of the Delhi Commission for Women, Saira Shah Halim, civil rights activist and theatre personality, Raman Malik, BJP spokesperson from Haryana, Radhika Khera, spokesperson of the Congress, and Vikram Singh, retired IPS officer and former DGP of UP. But before we start that discussion, here's a report narrating the horrific crimes that have shocked the nation.
India is a nation that prides itself on worshipping women. But their brutalization is a reality that shames us every day. Once again, young women in the state of Haryana have been reduced to prey. 4 rapes in the past 3 days have sent shockwaves across the country, shaking the very confidence we have in the law and order machinery. In the bustling city of Faridabad, a 23-year-old girl, the same age as Nirbhaya, was abducted and gang-raped in a moving vehicle for 3 hours. She was kidnapped in this car from the national highway near Rajiv Gandhi Chowk and later dumped on the side of the road. 4 accused, including the driver of the car, are still at large. The police response: we are investigating.
अभी किसी की कोई गिरफ्तारी नहीं हुई है. अभी जो है हम investigation, it is all under investigation.
The horror continues in Jind, where a Dalit girl was kidnapped, gang-raped and murdered. She was abducted after she'd gone for tuitions and was brutalized in captivity for 4 days. Her body was dumped near a canal. And medical authorities found that her liver was ruptured and nails had been inserted in her private parts. No arrests have been made so far, as the devastated family is given empty promises of justice.
रेप करने के बाद उसके गुप्त अंगों में नुकीली चीज़ और रोडें डाली गई जिससे कि उसके लीवर की नालियां भी फट गई हैं और लीवर भी फट गया है और उसको फिर उसके बाद पानी में भी डुबोने की कोशिश की है, घसीटा भी गया है.
In Panipat, a 10-year-old Dalit girl was gang-raped and murdered after she was abducted when she went to dump garbage at a landfill. Shockingly, her dead body was also recovered from a garbage dump. 2 suspects are now in police custody. In Pinjore, an 11-year-old girl was raped by a 48-year-old man. The pedophile is now in police custody. 4 rapes in 3 days. Young girls murdered, brutalized, their dignity torn from their bodies, followed by the sham promise of fast-track justice by the state government, which is more interested in treating cows as an article of faith.
किसी भी घटना के होने के बाद पुलिस एक्शन में आकर के कितना जल्दी उसको सॉल्व करती है, यही एक प्रकार की पुलिस की कार्य प्रणाली का एक हिस्सा है.
Just last year, the Haryana government launched Operation Durga to ensure the safety of women in the state. But the crimes continued unchecked, with 3 rape cases reported daily in Haryana in 2017. The state is infamous for the highest rate of gang rapes per 1 lakh women in India. Over 5 years have passed since the nation rallied for stronger anti-rape laws after the shocking Nirbhaya gang rape. But there is no bear of the law of the land, as women are attacked, killed and mutilated without any fear, followed by hollow promises of justice. Have anti-rape laws failed the women of India?
Well, that is the shocking reality that we need to deal with. Let me first go across to Vikram Singh, retired IPS officer. Mr. Singh, you know, I'm struggling, frankly, to go through with this show. What is it going to take? I mean, we've said we put the laws in place, we've set up fast-track courts, conviction rates continue to be absolutely abysmal. And I don't want to go over the statistics and read out the numbers because the numbers are disappointing and shocking. And you know, these are human lives. It doesn't boil down to just putting a number down on a piece of paper. But what is it going to take? This looks like a complete failure of law and order.
I can well understand that I share your deep sense of anguish and hurt. Well, yes, Haryana could do with a more professional and credible policing. They have failed their population, especially the women folk, repeatedly now. It has happened in the past, and it has happened yet again that in 3 days there are 4 gang rapes, and then you have somebody in a responsible position saying that we act after the incident has taken place. That seems that you're putting the cart before the horse. What about preventive policing? What about the fast-track courts? What about action under 166A against the delinquent police officers? What about departmental action and the dismissal? Obviously, nothing like this has happened. In police, let me tell you, you have to be cruel to be kind. You have to be a half butcher and half human to get to the jugular of those who are accused and those who are delinquent police officers who take it as something of a routine, something that is usual policing. That you can just say that we are on the job, we are investigating. What investigation are you doing? Have you announced rewards? Are there pen sketches? I very much doubt because they're not on the air. Before coming to your show, I did try to access if there are pen pictures. There are none. There are no rewards. I really don't know. Are you serious about apprehending the accused? Are you serious about fast-track courts? Are you serious about prosecution? I have.
So where do you rest the blame, sir? Where do you rest the blame? You've given us a series of things that you believe ought to have been done, haven't been done, for the benefit of our viewers. You know, I now will go through the data because it gives us a sense of how things have actually deteriorated. They haven't improved. There has been a deterioration over the years. 2016, 1,187 rape cases in Haryana. 2015, and this is the NCRB data, the number was 1,070. Gang rapes in 2016, 191, up from 104 in 2015. I mean, rape of girl children, 2016, 85, 2015, 35. I have data for 2017, which gives you a different picture and makes it look even much worse. 1,238 rape cases in 2017. 3 rape cases reported every single day. 2,432 cases of kidnapping. I mean, you know, what are we talking about?
A lukewarm, half-hearted and an unprofessional approach. You should actually have taken every case as a test case. You should have ensured that every case is ended in a conviction, and every case where the police had not acted appropriately, they should also have been prosecuted. I very much doubt if there has been a single case of 166A of IPC against any police officer. What about the acquittals? Have you traced the acquittals to delinquency in the police department? Have you prosecuted lax police officers for not effectively prosecuting the cases? If not, you sowed a wind and now you are reaping a whirlwind. And let me tell you, it will be very difficult for you to contain the situation. As somebody had said, rape is not a preventable crime. I don't know what book of criminology teaches you that. Every crime is preventable, provided you have a no-nonsense approach.
Provided you have a no-nonsense approach. Let me go across to Raman Malik, spokesperson for the BJP. Mr. Malik, you know, we're dealing with some very, very ugly data at this point in time, which shows us that things have only gotten worse. Things have not improved, things have not gotten better, things have gotten worse in the state of Haryana. Mr. Malik, you know, we had the father of one of the victims on the air on our sister channel saying, what is the point of beti badhao, beti bachao? Agar betiyan rahengi nahi to aap padhayenge kisko? There is frustration. There seems to be a sense of apathy when it comes to how the administration is dealing with this. How do you respond, Mr. Malik, as the BJP, as somebody who is the spokesperson for the BJP? What kind of assurance can you give us?
See, I think my learned friend, when he said it is preventable and detectable crime, and he was referring to, he must not forget that in his days also these things used to happen, and how and what all used to happen. I would not.
Sir, please, let,
allegations
please, let,
like
no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let us be respectful. Let us be respectful. We're not talking about the past. I'm asking you about the present. I'm asking you about what the administration in the government of Haryana has done to ensure that we in fact see an improvement and not a deterioration, sir.
We have increased the number of the incoming calls facility towards 1091, which is a women helpline. We have increased the number of women police personnel in our tenure to 856 new police women personnel were inducted. 7,500 plus new police personnel, men, have been inducted and they are under training. So we are trying to put more policing on ground. Thirdly, the state is very clear that all such incidents, the state is going to demand for a minimum of capital punishment for all these guilty. Third, and which is very important, is we had a big loss of moral standards in our state over the years, which we are trying to repair by giving moral science lectures. We are giving good touch and bad touch lessons to the girls. We are trying to emphasize and put this into their notion.
Mr. Malik, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to undermine.
That they have to report these kind of things.
I'm not for a moment trying to undermine the efforts on part of your government to create awareness, to bring about sensitivity and sensitize people. I'm not undermining that. But everything that you've just pointed out for us in terms of increasing police presence, etc., why is it that it's made no difference on the ground? Why is it that we've slipped further? Why is it made no difference on the ground is the question, sir.
You must understand, this is, when I say it is not a preventable crime, it is based on a particular study that says that over 70% of people who are in these kind of crimes are known to the victim. There is another major issue when I say this is, you can have a criminal offender in, but these people first time, most of them turn out to be a first time criminals who have done this crime. This is a mental sickness also. We cannot forget that this is not a mental sickness, this is not a social sickness. If we say it would be wrong on our part. We must understand that this has to be a collective responsibility of the government of the day and the society at large.
Yes, it does.
At the end of the day, it is my daughter, it is your daughter which suffers.
I agree with you. I agree with you. This is not the time to play politics, and I don't want to indulge in that even for a moment, sir. But I want to bring my other guests into this conversation as well. Saira Shah Halim, you've heard the argument that we've heard just there from the BJP spokesperson, saying that we've done all of these things, but the fact of the matter is that the situation in Haryana, which was bad to start with, has only gotten progressively worse.
Yes, see, if you look at 2015, Haryana was a state which showed the grossest crimes against women. It actually topped all the states as far as women's crimes and gang rapes are concerned. Now that the government is gloating about the result of Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao movement, which was mere sloganeering, even if they showed that the sex ratio between men and women has improved, but I would say that crimes against women is alarming and it is worsening by the day. Now, if you look at certain loose modalities of a legal terminology, that outraging the modesty of a woman has still not been defined, and it's still very much a legitimate legal standard by how people gauge women's crimes. Now, if you look at the anti-rape laws, you look at the Nirbhaya fund, it's a 10 million corpus which is lying largely unutilized, and the government has not given us any clear blueprint on what they're doing with the funds. What are the NGOs that have they given the have they assigned the job to, or the other nodal agencies, the other child and women development ministry? What is the ministry doing? And here we come and we are trying to safeguard our own interests. We are trying to save our own side by saying, oh, we have deployed so many women women officers and we have deployed so-and-so people. But the larger question remains unanswered.
I would like to
it's
understand
appalling
from her.
that in the last 4 days, we have
It's appalling the way she's trying to covertly politicize this issue. If she wants to politicize this issue,
No, nobody. One second, sir.
What did
Sir,
they do
I will not allow. I will not. Sir, this is my program. I will not allow politicization of this issue, sir.
Tandoor Khan happened. What did they do of the Sukanya issue?
Mr. Malik, no, I'm sorry, I will not allow the politicization of this program. It is too important an issue to make it a BJP versus Congress issue, and she's not even a Congress spokesperson, sir. I'm sorry, she's not the Congress spokesperson. Mr. Malik, she's not the Congress spokesperson who's speaking, sir. But let me go.
I'm simply asking you questions on what the government has done.
I am ready to answer your questions.
Crimes against
I'm
women.
here to
Please
answer questions.
us in
And
black and white.
Mr. Malik, I will come back to you, sir. Sir, I will come back.
Can you please explain in the last 4 days? In the last 4 days, we've seen heinous crimes. A 15-year-old girl, a 6-year-old girl, body parts are being mutilated, liver is being cut, the private parts is being severely severed. The girl is thrown into a canal.
Syra, let him respond.
By any standard in a state which is gloating over the improvement.
Syra, let him respond. Let him respond. Syra, you made your point. Syra, please, you've made your point. Let me get Raman Malik to respond. Raman Malik, go ahead.
Ma'am, the arrests have already started happening. There are cases where we are very close to the people. There are certain leads that the police is following. Also, at the same time, let me bring it to your notice that those people, in certain cases where we have understood that there could have been certain laxity by the police people, I have requested the CP Faridabad and other people that these people, and I would
so you are admitting that you are
right
admitting
after my debates to
you
the
are
DGP.
Admitting then Raman Malik, you are admitting
there
that the
would
police
be. Why
failed in
not?
some
If
of
there
these
is an
cases.
allegation, please listen. If there are allegations that the police has not worked well, if there is allegation and if there is a point made by the victim or the family that the police has not worked well, we must investigate that, and we are not going to shirk away from that.
Okay. All right.
Because that is the right of the citizen.
Let me bring in Swati Maliwal. Sure. Let me bring in Swati Maliwal, the head of the National Commission for Women in Delhi. Swati, you know, just a few months ago, we were having the exact same conversation. And unfortunately, we're back here revisiting these issues. You know, one of the victims, a young cousin of hers, was saying that media aati hai, media wale aate hain, mantri aate hain, chale jate hain, kuch nahi hota. And I feel like, you know, that's exactly what's been going on.
I totally agree with you, and it's not just about a few months. The fact is, this has been an ongoing scenario, and it's been 5 years, and even Nirbhaya has not been given any justice in this country till date. And it is totally a fact that media comes, people come, everybody tries to support a victim, but then she just becomes an unknown voice in this entire system. And there are just so many Nirbhayas who are awaiting justice, which is never delivered to them. And all this Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao Abhiyan, they've just become jumlas. Nothing really concrete is happening. And I think concrete changes can take place. If you look at the Haryana data also, it's very unfortunate the way the little girls are being raped in Haryana as well as in Delhi. And all these states, they show that the conviction rates are abysmally low. In Delhi only, we have 31,446 crimes against women reported in 3 years and 150 convictions. And Haryana is no better. People are just not scared until we make a system in which within 6 months, death penalty
what
is
will
delivered
change?
at least
What
to
will
children.
change, Swati? You know, I at the start of my program, I said we've talked so much about fast track courts. We've got almost 400 fast track courts. You gave us the conviction numbers for Delhi. The picture for Haryana looks equally abysmal. So what is going to change?
I think 3-4 steps.
The answer was supposed to be fast track courts.
No, it's not just fast-track courts. We will have to increase the resources of the police so that investigation is better. If your investigation is shoddy, what is it that the court will do? The case will not be convicted. You need to have proper police resources. You need to have accountability of the police. For the past 10 years, the MHA has been trying to develop a software for digitizing the police force of the entire country. They haven't created that software. That is something that needs to be done. Fast-track courts need to be much more. For instance, in Delhi, you have 6 fast-track courts. I'm sorry, but they're not functioning in a fast-track manner. You need many more courts. 400 courts across the country, all right. But just look at the amount of pendency. In fact, there is a petition that a PIL which Delhi High Court is presently hearing. If the children rape cases keep on going at the present stage, they will take 25 years to complete. So this is the situation. Until there is swiftness and certainty of punishment, until within 6 months, at least in the cases of child rape, the person is given a death penalty, I don't think people will be scared. And I think it has to happen in each and every case, not in one odd case that, okay, you create, there's no symbolism that is required. No more talks are required. Much more action is required.
Yeah. Absolutely. Swati, I'll request you to just hold on. Let me bring in Radhika Khare with us as well, spokesperson for the Congress. And Radhika, you know, no politicization on this program. This is not a battle about the BJP versus the Congress. As we just heard there from Swati Maliwal, if the picture looks bad in Haryana, it also looks bad in a state like Delhi. What can we expect now in terms of action? Enough symbolism, enough talk? Is this going to be a priority item that each political party will take forward?
See, it's been 3 years, more than 3 years that the BJP has been in power in Haryana, and the Beti Bachao Andolan has started from Haryana, and unfortunately it is the BJP state president's son who has also been accused in molesting a woman in Chandigarh, a young girl. What we have seen from this government continuously in 3.5 years in place of any action. Can I please complete? Can I please complete, Ramanji, please?
Yeah.
Please, let me complete.
Raman,
no, you want to politicize it? I will pick up
Raman Malik, 1 second, please. Please, yeah. Go ahead, Radhika.
People who have completely politicized rape time and again should not be saying anything like this. What I am saying is that in the past 3.5 years, 3 DGPs from Haryana have been transferred. So that is the only thing that this BJP government does. They just transfer once the rape is done and such horrific incidents come forward. People they talk about, like I said, Beti Bachao was started in Haryana, and
I
Haryana
would like to interject and say, what have the Congress done about...
I'll give you your chance, sir. I'll give you your chance, sir. Mr. Malik, I will come back to you, sir. I will come back.
What did you do about it? What did you do in the Sukanya issue?
This is the first opportunity. This is the first opportunity that Radhika has had to speak on the show, sir. Mr. Malik, this is her. No. Mr. Malik, I'm sorry. This is the first opportunity that she's got to speak on the show. Please let her have her say.
This is about your daughter and my daughters.
I will come back to you.
This is not about politics.
No, 1 second, sir.
Exactly. It is about.
It is not about politics. Let her make her point. I will come back to you.
This government, whether it is at the center or at the state, whether it is Maharashtra, whether it is Madhya Pradesh.
Radhika, I asked you a pointed question. Radhika, I asked you a pointed question, Radhika. We know the data. I've been giving out the data on the program. I want to know whether your party will make this an item of priority, whether your party is going to try and raise the issue of what we're seeing happening state after state in states like Haryana, including states like Delhi. Are you going to give your political heft to this issue?
And Karnataka. Why forget
Absolutely,
Karnataka?
We're going to raise this issue. Absolutely, we're going to raise this issue. And we are going to work towards providing a safer environment for the women in the Congress ruled states. And when we come back to power, we will make sure of that. But time and again, you see the conditions.
Okay. I don't want a political speech. No political speeches, please. And let me come back now to you, Mr. Singh.
This is the fact. What is happening?
No, I understand it's a fact that's happening.
Delhi,
I'm asking for specific action. I'm asking for specific action. The BJP says when we come into power...
It is so scary to even travel in the metro. We are not even safe there.
I agree with you, Radhika. Hence, I'm asking for specific actions. We just heard from Swati Maliwal, and she gave us some specific measures that ought to be taken forward. For instance, more digitization, etc. Mr. Singh, in terms of practical solutions now, what should we be focusing on?
Absolutely. There are things that we can do even today. There are short-term measures and there are long-term measures. I will focus only on the short-term measures. Prompt investigation by professional investigators. It is not rocket science. 2, time-bound investigation, charge sheeting, and if there is an acquittal, action against the delinquent investigator. 3rd, obviously the fast-track courts are there. We need more female investigators, female prosecutors, and female judges. The onus of proof is on the accused. Please focus on what facility the law is giving you. And in any case, have your antenna, Mr. Raman Malik, this is only for you. When जिसको कहते हैं ना, ऐसा कहर आया कि आशिक इश्क भूल गए. The fear of law is such that nobody will dare to look on the side of the woman if you choose to convict each and every delinquent and a pervert. Here you have a free run for delinquents and perverts. Try to enforce the rule of law, sir.
None less than the Chief Secretary.
Okay, I will give you the
None less than the Chief Secretary and the Home
I'll give
Secretary
you the
have met
final say,
on this
Mr. Malik.
issue.
Go ahead.
We are going to be asking for a capital punishment and a capital punishment only. That is what we are going to ask for these culprits, whoever is found guilty. Now, that is the commitment that this government has given to the state. My daughters of the state have this commitment from the Chief Minister, from the entire government brass, that we would be asking for capital punishment and none less.
Yes, but that only will make that will only help, sir, if the conviction rates were to improve, Mr. Malik, and that is the hope. As I pointed out, the data shows that the trend has only gotten worse. It has not improved. It has deteriorated
But who's going to start?
since 2015.
But there's one thing which I'm pointing out. Section 39 and 40, where the citizen is allowed to report such crimes. How many of us do go forward and tell this? How many of us do report these kind of issues? Do we as a society come forward?
Well, let's not, you know, I'm sure that people who feel that they have the comfort of
even we need to wake up there.
That is... No, we need to wake up on many fronts, sir.
Counts.
We need to make up on many fronts. I'm not at all suggesting that, you know, all is right on all other fronts and everything is wrong as far as the state administration or the police is concerned. We need to wake up on a lot of fronts, including the fact that we need to change our patriarchal mindset in this country. So there's a lot of change that's required, and it needs to be a much more collaborative effort, and there's no sort of pinning the blame or passing the buck from one person to the other. But we're completely out of time here on this program. You know, unfortunately, we haven't seen much change since the last time that we did this program, which was a few months ago. I am hoping that we will see states police react to this situation, and you know, the gruesomeness and the brutality with which these victims have had to pay with their lives. I hope that is not something that we're going to be discussing for a while. But thanks very much for joining us here, Mr. Singh, Swati Maliwal, Saira Shah Halim, Raman Malik and Radhika Khera. Appreciate you joining us here on CNBC TV18.